They just started chucking grenades down, shooting RPGs or bullets flying everywhere. Rudd, is that you? Like, yeah, yeah. I remember the chief of base was hiding in a bathtub going, oh my God, we're going to die. We're going to die. I just switched from Blackwater to Sock.
You were there, but I didn't know it was you, And I remember we drove out, it was like into the other place and the lights came on and I was like, holy cow, I know you. And you're like, what's up, Rut? And I was like, and you're like, and you said your name and I was just like, holy cow. I was like, what are you doing here, man? And you're like, you were just pissed. You were so livid. I was like, dude, you're my connection, man. You're the team guy. I need a team guy, and you just could not speak. Like you were fired up, and that's what I remember was the introduction.
I was pretty pissed.
Yeah.
So yeah, before you got there, just to fill up the audience, I just switched from Blackwater to Sock for a pay raise. This is my first deployment with Sock. Met Evan, connected with him immediately. Great rapport. And he's like, oh, you're going to this site, Lash Cargo. I'm like, okay. Go down there. Little bitty safe house. You could hear the interpreters fucking each other in the middle of the night. None of the agency blue badgers or the agency employees had ever been to combat zones, at least to my knowledge, especially the chief of base. And we were doing all these meets. And at the time, Lashkar Gah, Helmand Province, was the hottest zone in the country. And we would go and we would meet these people. We'd do our little SDR. For those that don't know, it's kind of like a counter surveillance type route that you would take in. And the main thing working with agency doing that kind of a job is don't be time and place predictable. Mm-hmm. Well, chief of base was lazy, had no experience in a war zone. He's a Cold War guy. And I come down there and immediately start picking things apart, which still hadn't figured out that's not how the agency works. They don't like constructive criticism, but I said it anyways because I knew some shit was going to happen. And I said, hey, in a morning brief, said, hey, we've already run this route 3 or 4 times, same time, same route. We're time and place predictable. We need to change things up. Of course, they blow it off. I'm like, well, we're going to get fucking hit. We're in this little house, in this little compound. About 12 hours later, the gunfire starts. And I can't remember if it was Taliban or Al Qaeda or who, but they had taken over a high-rise building in town. Local Afghan police were trying to take care of it. They just started chucking grenades down, shooting RPGs or bullets flying everywhere. We couldn't get a good vantage point to shoot back. This went on for like 10 fucking hours. It was insane. And we were pinned down. We couldn't get out. So we started burning all the classified material. I remember the chief of base was hiding in a bathtub going, oh my God, we're going to die. We're going to die. And my buddy, do you remember Devo?
Yeah.
Devo looked in the bathroom like, what the fuck are you doing in there? Get up and get a fucking gun. And that, so anyways, we're burning all this shit. The Brits actually had to come extract us out of there because we couldn't fucking get out. And so they sent in this huge convoy, a big show of force to come extract us out. And then they dump us in this shithole base that we're building with no bathrooms,
front gates,
no nothing. Yeah, no front gates. No,
140 local workers
Yeah,
inside the wire every day.
yep. And so I'm fucking pissed. I'm like, how the fuck did I wind up here? I thought this was supposed to be better. And yeah, I was demoralized.
Yeah.
I was demoralized because they weren't taking any constructive criticism. We just got hit. Could have gotten killed. It actually came out later that they had pinpointed exactly what house we were in. They had over 100 fighters on the other side of the river, just about a click away, a kilometer away. And so they started doing drone passes to try to scatter them. It was nasty. And they told us we had reinforcements coming. So we go out, we wait for the helos to come in. Did you come in with Race? Race was already there, I think.
No.
You came in with Race.
Because
and
he
Kate's.
had to go, me, Race, and Kate.
And yeah, he comes down.
I think Evan was with us too.
No, Bevan.
Later. He came a couple weeks later.
He didn't come while I was there.
Okay, you left, and then he came out until we got another guy. That's who it was.
And the way I remember it, you jump off the helo and you start yelling. And I was like, what the fuck? Is that who I think it is? Rudd, is that you? He's like, yeah. Who is that? And then I gave you the lowdown. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
When we were back.
And you had that super positive attitude, and I'm like, get that shit away from me. I don't want to fucking hear it. You're running around trying to set up oak horses in the fucking camp, and I'm like, I'm not doing that shit. There's no fucking way. You got a bottle?
The morale was it was abysmal, and the morale was bad through the whole
It was
community
horrible.
because of what had happened in Coast, and I was like, all right, how do we even operate when that just happened? I'm at this place, Coast I'm like, this is a shit show, dude. And I was like, all right, I can just start. I just kind of lifting people up, man. And God, that did not work.
It did. It did not work at all.
It did not work at all.
But funny story about that. I don't know if you were there yet or not, but that same chief of base, after this happened, he still continued to act like a hard ass. And we had a cat problem. Lots of fucking stray cats everywhere, pissing shit and all over the place. He's like, hey, get rid of these fucking cats. And my buddy Scott goes out and he puts these bricks in a pillowcase. And he walks up to the chief of station, and he goes, "Hey, I got the solution to your cat problem." And he starts flinging this pillowcase around full of bricks, and he just goes, "Wham!" Slams this pillowcase full of bricks on the concrete right in front of him, and his face was just like,
Oh my!
I can't believe you did that. He goes, it's just fucking bricks.
Yeah.
It was, dude, it was the funniest. I think that might have been the only time I laughed that entire fucking deployment, other than when we got shit-faced off that bottle of Jack Daniels that whoever brought.
God.
And I wound up falling in a hole and sleeping it off in there until Race comes over. He's looking at me. He's like, rough night last night.
Dude, that was a good night, though. Because everybody needed to blow off a little steam, you know?
Yeah.
Do you remember the PMCO Jeremy and then his guy who looked like, were they there?
Lee,
who looked like the guy who was the cowboy.
looked like the Metal
Sam-
Gear Solid guy.
The which one?
The Metal Gear Solid guy.
Yeah.
Snake or whatever the hell his name is.
yeah.
But
Those guys they cracked, like every time I'd need a sanity check, I'd go over to them. And
I wasn't doing it for you?
no, dude, no. I'd be like, holy cow, dude. Like he's about ready to bust a gasket, dude. And like nothing, like, and I'd come near you and you'd look at me and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to go over here. I'd go the other way, dude. Yeah.
Dude.
That was my Indoc. Like that was my
Holy
first trip.
shit! I didn't realize that was your
That was
first
my
trip.
first trip, and like leaving that and getting home, I'm like, whoa.
Me too.
I was like, whoa, can I do this again? And the next
Because Coast had just happened.
Just
too.
happened.
And I had mentioned that.
They
I
had
was
a-
like, this
yeah.
just happened.
yeah, it was everything had
Nobody
gone
listened.
wrong. And then I went into the place where it was the worst, and nobody was. I think the morale was just at an all-time low at that point.
What did you think of the agency overall, the entire experience?
I think they.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.